on a disk floating through space with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE and welcome back to the channel that curb stomps stupidity with the boot of knowledge. It is Monday night and we're going to have a debate. Well, more of a discussion. Although I'm just waiting because it says that I'm not streaming. If anyone can hear me.
Yeah, I was about to say, it does not look like you're streaming.
I'm going to say, it's weird, and it shows executive producer Stringer News 1. Big shout out to executive producer Stringer News 1, but that's what it's stuck on my screen.
Huh.
Yeah, for me it's stuck at the explosion animation in the beginning.
I'm not sure what's going. Oh no, here we go. There we go. It's going.
Yeah, me too.
Right. Can you guys see the screen?
No.
You can't see the screen.
It's buffering.
All I can see it. Hey, Fight, I'm going to send you a picture to use for Geo.
So he's got a virtual camera.
Geo, why isn't the latency the problem? I'm just curious what your thought process is.
The latency usually... I think it's running now.
I think, yeah, it's running. Can you guys see the right screen?
Nope.
No, in vMix I still can't see
vMix,
anything.
Yeah. I can.
Can you see Daniel Pratt right now?
No.
I can, yeah.
Try refreshing your browser, Gio.
Okay.
All right, sorry about that, guys. In the chat, it should be sorted. We're just getting you guys sorted. JM, can you see the screen?
There we go.
Yes, now I see it.
Right, brilliant. Let's get going. Hey, I'm FTFE, and welcome back to the channel that curb stomps stupidity with the boot of knowledge. Tonight, we're going to have a discussion about science between JM Truth and GeoStreber. But before we get going, I'll just go over to my partner in crime, Team Skeptic. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Here for the shit show. Hopefully staying for dessert.
Yes, lovely. Thank you both, JM and GeoStreber, for joining. We decided it's not going to be a debate. There's no particular topic. Just both of you are academics in your own right. And I thought that you could both have a discussion about what you both understand about science and the shape of the Earth. So how do you want to do this? Do you have questions you'd like to ask each other, or it's up to you guys, really?
Well, this morning I actually went through your entire website, JM Truth. Or should I call you JM, or do you prefer Joshua? What do you
Joshua, Michael, or Joshua?
Josh.
I don't go by JM.
Josh, fine. Yeah. Okay, then Joshua. So I went through your website this morning, and I have a few questions regarding that, if that's fine for you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me just share the screen so you can see it. So this is your website, right? Can you see it? No, you cannot yet. Now you should be able to see it.
You're not put... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'll put you up on full screen.
It's being streamed to you guys.
Yeah, that looks like my website, yeah.
Okay, so you have this sub-page here called Flat Earth Facts. What the fuck? Now my laptop is starting lagging. I think we're a little bit cursed today, aren't we?
No.
Yeah, internet.
There we go. You make this point here. Where is it? The photo below of the reddish moon proves water doesn't curve. The reflection of the moon should not reach us due to the curve of the Earth blocking our view. It does prove that all water is level. I just want to know, where did you get that picture from?
Put it off the internet. Why?
Because it's photoshopped.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
Dude, the moon in this picture is closer than the clouds. Let's just zoom into that a little bit.
Hold on. I'll just pull it up on my page.
There we go.
What's the name of your website?
It's jmtruth.com/flat earth. Flat hyphen earth.
We want to make sure everybody in
The
the audience
website's
can
just
see this live,
gmtruth.com.
Yeah. So, do you know where in particular you got that image from?
I don't remember, correct? No.
Yeah, well, my point is that, do you understand why I think that it's photoshopped?
No, absolutely. I understand what you're saying. Because it is in front of the cloud. It's in front of the cloud.
Yeah. Yes. Also, there's something weird about the reflection, being that the silhouette of the moon is kind of being completed, which is kind of weird. So, do you have a problem with this when you claim that this
repeat
proves...
what you... Hold on.
What?
Repeat what you said about the circle being completed. What?
Yeah, the circle is being completed. You wouldn't expect to see... Let me zoom in again.
It's not completed. The light is just brighter in that area. It's an optical illusion.
Looks like for me that the circle is completed, but whatever, that's fine. Do you understand that it's a little bit problematic when you cite this picture as proof and it's clearly photoshopped?
Well, first of all, I'd have to go test it. Obviously, if it's photoshopped, I'll have to remove it, which I'm okay with. That's fine. But the image itself, the light that is coming across is from the moon. I don't have the right now. I can't say anything about it. I have nothing to say about it because I would have to go in and look at it.
Yeah. Well, for example, you can also see that the shadow of the cloud on the top right.
Yeah, but
this
is your big argument.
No.
Okay, but
this is just one thing that I immediately noticed. This is just one thing I immediately noticed.
Okay. Well, I appreciate pointing it out, but there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, well, because it points to the fact that your standard of evidence seems to be a little bit low. I mean, within 5 seconds you can determine that there's something wrong with this picture, and yet you cite it as a proof.
I didn't tell you there's something wrong with this picture. You said there's something wrong with this picture.
Yeah, and I can prove that there's something wrong with it. And you should have noticed that when you uploaded it.
Well, I can't argue with that. You're right. I should have noticed that when I uploaded it. If it's wrong, like I said, I'll take it down. I got hundreds of photos of moons. I just like the orange color, balanced out the page. So that's why I picked it.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out because I immediately noticed that there's something wrong with it, and I don't think you should be citing it as a source.
I'm actually not citing this as proof. The reflection is real. The moon may be photoshopped. But as far as I know,
let me quote you. Let me quote your website. The photo below of the reddish moon proves water doesn't curve. And yeah, so yes, you're citing this picture in itself as proof that the Earth is flat. Right. And since it's photoshopped, then there's something fucked with it.
The reflection is a real reflection. Even if the
Are you sure about this?
I'd be more than glad to move and find another one. There's hundreds like this, okay? So regardless of whether this moon is photoshopped or not, the reflection itself is not photoshopped. But the point is, there are hundreds and hundreds of photos with the reflection of the moon going straight across the ocean. So or water in general. The which I make, that it proves that water is not curved, is in fact still true. I'd be happy to go change the photo.
Have you ever tried actually simulating this? Have you ever made a model of this, either in a computer or more or less to scale, to actually show what?
So why would I make a model when I went out and photoed it?
Because
I'm not sure why I
would have
make
to
a model.
You would have to verify that what you're saying is true, and you do this by making a model. You basically compare the outcome of the model to the picture.
No, you make a model by your belief. Models don't verify things.
Yeah, they kind of do.
No, they kind of don't.
Yeah, actually they do.
A CGI model does not verify anything.
Look, you can use models, whether they are CGI or whether you actually built it. In reality, it doesn't matter because the effect will be the same. You can actually check on whether the prediction that you make, that this type of reflection only works on a completely flat surface, whether that holds up to scrutiny when building this model. If you don't see this in a curved Earth
So what
model,
you're
for
really
example,
asking me is,
then you... Hey, wait, stop, please. Let me make my point, please. Then you would actually have a point. But so far, you're just assuming that this would not work on a curved surface. But
no, I've tested it
pointed
on
out
a
any
curved
evidence for
surface.
that.
It doesn't work.
Was the
I've
curved
tested it
surface
on
to
a curved
scale?
surface. What?
Was
It
it
doesn't
to
have to
scale?
be to scale. It doesn't have
Yes,
to be
it
to
does have to
scale.
be to
Light
scale.
physics is physics, Geo.
It
It'll
does have
work
to be
on
to
a
scale.
macro level. It'll work on a micro level.
Do you actually understand what scaling is? Do me a
I'm
favor,
sure you're
please
going to
define
educate
scaling
me
for
on
me.
scaling, right? Really?
Yeah, because I'm currently not sure whether you do understand it or not.
Scaling is to make something 1/10 of the scale of the original, 1/100th of the scale of the original. Yes, I understand what
Okay,
scaling is.
So you cannot use the word that you're defining in the definition. Please try again.
What?
When you have a definition of a word, for example, scale, you cannot use the word inside the definition.
Okay, let's move on.
So you're not able to define what scaling is.
Are you asking me to go look up the definition of scaling? I'm not going to say definition of scaling. I know what scaling is. Let's get to.
I'm trying to find out whether you. Wait a second. I'm trying to find out whether you understand it, and so far you don't seem to be able to define it, which makes me think that you in fact do not understand it.
Listen, Chief, I'm a filmmaker. I scale things all the time. Okay?
Okay, then you should be able to explain it to me.
Is to make the original smaller or larger in you won't not use the word scale. Are you fucking kidding me right now? This is your
question to me.
This is your argument. Like, this is ridiculousness.
In what way is this
I
ridiculous?
think
So
he's
far,
just giving you qualifying.
Okay.
Yeah,
I put scale in the
He's just giving
definition,
you qualifying questions right now.
You're saying I cannot use the word scaling in the definition, correct?
I'm saying that if you use a different... Yeah, wait a second. I'm saying, let me clarify. If you use a definition, or if you try to define a word, the word itself cannot be inside the definition itself. You can say scaling is and then bring the definition, but it shouldn't be implied in anything else. Or it should be in there after that. So?
All right. I'm not. This is ridiculousness, and this is a non-arguing issue. Get to the point. I've just told you I understand what scaling is. Let's move on.
Okay. Okay. So have you tried actually modeling this to scale and trying to find out whether your assertion that this would not work on a sphere is correct or not?
Yes.
Okay. Show it, please.
No.
Why? You're the one making the claim. You're the one who has to back it up.
I'm not. No. I'm not. You're making a claim. I'm not making any claim. You're claiming that like the curve. You're claiming that light goes around the curve. It's on you then to prove that. I'm telling you from hundreds of photos, light clearly does not go around a curve.
You make the point here that pictures like this, be it this one or a similar one, show that the water has to be flat. That is something that you need to prove by actually modeling it, for example.
Science has proven water always finds the light on the water simply proves that point.
Did you?
It is a
can you
proof
repeat your
that
last sentence?
water
You were
finds
breaking
its
up there.
level.
Okay.
I said,
do you know what is
the picture is simply a proof that light or that water finds its level. The light
do you
is
know what
simply a proof that you're looking at a.
JM, could you do me a favor? Just refresh your browser again. You're cutting out a little bit, bud.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So I think if I could just maybe clarify what Gio was asking there. He's asking, have you tested your assertion that that proves that water is level and that light doesn't go around a curve on a scale equivalent to a globe? So if I was to show you this globe, it's a scale of a globe. You know, be it.
No, I understand.
Yeah. So
I get it. Right? Here's my argument. How do you make the Earth to a scale outside of CGI?
By, for example, building a sphere with a set diameter and placing a second sphere which is smaller by that and that size difference at the given difference. You basically scale the entire thing down to make a model in the scale of 1 to, I don't know, a few hundred million maybe. You can do that in CGI. That would be perfectly valid, but you can also build it. You realize that there are
I understand.
those two-scale planetariums,
I understand,
right?
and I've seen it both ways, and water still doesn't go around a curve. Or, I mean, water nor goes around a curve, actually. So your point is completely a non-issue. You can prove
can you do me a
that
favor?
water can cling to a ball and light can go around a curve. Please show me that evidence, because you're claiming that it's evidence or that there is evidence out there, but you're asking me to do a test you yourself have not done.
I actually don't agree. Because first of all, I wouldn't have to do. Wait a second. Let me make my point, please. I gave you the courtesy to make that you make your point. Now, please share the courtesy and let me make my point. Thank you. Okay, so do I have to do this myself? Not necessarily, because this has already been done. Check out, for example, it will be funny because I'm gonna quote a flat earther right now. Renty Flat Earth. Renty Flat Earth takes brilliant photographies of offshore wind farms in front of the coast of Western England, and he brilliantly shows that the wind turbines appear to be dipping under the surface of the water after a certain distance to them, which directly shows and brilliantly fits towards the expected behavior of them looking from the from the coast when you are on a curved planet. Are you familiar with them?
I'm not quite sure I understand what your example was.
Okay, so Renty Flat Earth, are you familiar with him?
No.
He's a flat earther. Renty. You're not. Okay.
Just
so
because
he
a flat
lives
earther
in...
doesn't mean that I know every flat earther, so.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm asking you whether you know him.
What's his
you already
name?
have it on Renty. R-A-N-T-Y.
Yeah. But
Ranty. I've heard of Ranty, but no, I'm not really familiar with him.
Well, this
Okay,
picture,
so
the picture I'm showing, this isn't Ranty's, but this is the similar to what Gio is describing, seeing the wind turbines below the
basically.
curve.
Okay.
Yes, basically you have those wind turbines that stand a few kilometers, like 15, 20 kilometers off the coast. Pretty much in Europe, you can already find them anywhere. And you see that the wind turbines are away the further they appear to, well, dive under the surface of the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay, do you see that that's only compatible with the water itself being bent or the surface of the planet being curved?
No, you don't understand how photography works, and you don't understand how lens mechanics nor atmospheric lensing works, clearly, because that's what explains it. Because if I take a 2,600 millimeter lens, I will find out, I will come back on those wind turbines and they'll come back into picture.
So you are going to say that if you zoom in, wait a second, you're seriously saying that if you zoom into this, you will see the entire turbine again, including the base?
If you use a strong enough lens and the right atmospheric conditions, and the reason atmospheric conditions is because outside, the more atmospheric distortion is, which is why National Geographic, when they came out and did their little the film they were doing, and they came out and did their experiment, they did it on the hottest day with absolute atmospheric lensing distortion. If you do it on a cold day where there's very little atmospheric distortion, that you will be able to zoom in much farther and see, or much close and zoom in much farther on colder days than hotter days. Why? Because the atoms in the atmosphere are not bouncing around as much.
What? Okay, you first of all, you're mixing up various things here. The temperature itself is not really that relevant. What is relevant
Absolutely
are temperature.
relevant.
Wait a
kidding me?
second. What is relevant are temperature and well, air density differences. Do you understand that? Basically, the higher the gradient. Basically, the higher the gradient of the densities and the temperatures in the atmosphere are, the more you're going to see distortions, because the air isn't as calm.
No, that is not really correct.
In what way?
What causes? I mean, you say gradient. Depends on how I guess what your definition of gradient is. But what causes the atmospheric distortion down close to the surface of the Earth is absolutely temperature. And since we're 75% on this Earth, the sun hitting the water causes absolute chaos in the atmosphere, at least over water, if not even over regular land. So, yeah, atmosphere and temperature absolutely does affect atmospheric lens distortion. In fact, Geo, that's basic photography.
Can you repeat the last sentence? You were breaking.
I said that's basic photography 101. One of the first things you learn in photography is that you have to go out on days where you get the best clearance to see. The best clearance to see are cooler days, not hotter days. That's
okay. Well,
like
that's a fair point, but you're not gonna see like the entire. For example, this turbine, right? They're approximately, I don't know, 150, 200 meters tall, and 90 meters of it, basically all the way to the hub in the picture that we saw earlier, had disappeared. Don't you think that it's an interesting wait a second, stop. Don't you think that it's an interesting coincidence that this perfectly would fit the expected size of the planet?
But it doesn't fit the expected size of the planet.
Want to do the calculation?
Absolutely. How many miles away is that, do you know?
Okay, let's go to Google Earth and find it out. But I need to find a concrete example of Rentis first, because I don't know which one where you got this picture from.
That's actually
FTFE. Do you know?
One of my subscribers sent that to me. They were, just find who it was. Bear with me.
Do they know the miles?
Yes, in the
basically, as soon as we know the location, we can track down which wind turbine farm it is. The locations of those are public, and usually they also publish the data of the turbines themselves, manufacturer, hub height,
Okay, but I mean,
power outputs.
I understand, but we're arguing over one photograph, and one photograph's not going to change the shape of the Earth, at least not in my...
No, it's not. It's not one. It's not one. It's hundreds of them, and anybody who goes to the coast of England or northern Germany can do this.
And you zoom in. Dude, how
no,
many hundreds of videos? They do.
Okay, here's stop a second, wait, stop. Here's a challenge, okay? Find me any video that shows wind turbines that only appear, or whose only parts appear higher than the hub height, being brought back into full view by zooming in. That's a challenge.
I don't know about wind turbines, but I've got hundreds and hundreds of boats that I've done that to.
Okay, then let's take a look at one of your boats. Can you share your screen?
Well, okay. Let me rephrase. I don't have them. They're on the internet. You can go look them up. What I meant to say is I've looked at hundreds of videos where they've done that.
Jim, can I just clarify your argument?
I don't have any of my...
So is your response that you can zoom back in things that have gone over the curve, or
Correct,
the apparent
yes.
curve? Do you see the image on screen at the moment?
Yes.
That kind of disproves what you're saying.
How does that disprove what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's a still image.
It's a video, right? All right. Let me play this video for you all the way through, so you can see what Geo is trying to say. This was taken by somebody called Dazza the cameraman, and he filmed this himself. So it's I'll speed it up actually to make it a bit better.
Do you know what camera Dazza is using at the moment?
Pretty sure it's a P1000.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Either
Geo,
900 or
you-
1000, one of the two.
I'm reasonably
Geo,
confident
because,
that's not a P1000 shot, but I could be wrong. But
Geo, since you know Dazza the best, can you give us some of his qualifications? Is he an actual professional photographer?
I don't actually know. I try to keep out of the private lives
Okay.
of people as much as possible. I don't know what he's doing by
This was
I
taken
really
with a
don't know.
Nikon P1000 125 times optical zoom.
Okay.
wow, this is
Yes.
it's not as nice of a photo as I would have expected, but
Well, the thing about the P1000 is that it has a lot of basically too much lens for the tiny sensor, which makes the video quality kind of crap.
okay.
And by the way, it has a zoom from let me check. Yeah, 125 optical zoom from 24 to 3000 millimeters.
Okay, but it's compressed.
So, wait, what do you mean by compressed? Are you talking about the video or are you talking about the boat?
When you zoom into an image using a auto zoom, there's something
Oh
called
no,
compression.
this is complete optical zoom. This is not digital zoom.
And if I could just explain what you're seeing in this particular shot, JM, just to help. The bottom bit where it says zoom screenshot from when zoomed out, that was when he was back here. And then he's taken a screenshot of it back here. And then
taken a screenshot and then zoomed in and then
and then
resized the other.
he's compared it. So it's showing that zooming in hasn't actually changed the proportions of the ship.
Comment on it as I'm not.
I'll
I
put
don't
the
know what
link-
was done to that image. You're showing me an image that I didn't. All I can tell
Well, I
you,
mean,
what I
the video
know,
is public. You can do it yourself, can't you?
Yeah.
No, I can't because I wasn't there.
Oh, you beat it.
Yeah, but the video is online. You can take the video, take a
Okay, but
screenshot of the scene when it's zoomed out, then let the video zoom in, take another screenshot and compare the two. You can do this, which is
Yeah, but
pretty much
that's not-
repeated.
That's not how it works, there, Geo. I'd have to be
yeah,
on
of
the
course.
ground with a P1000 in my hand, zooming into the P1000. He clearly didn't do that.
But
In what way did he clearly not do this?
That
It's
just
right
what we've
there.
shown you.
At
That red
At
box
3,000
there. That red box there
Okay.
is the same as the red box at the bottom there.
The
That's
P1000
exactly- I
understand
has a zoom from 24 to 3000 millimeters. It's basically, when you zoom all the way out, it's a wide angle lens.
I understand how a camera works. Thanks, Gio. My point is, I wasn't there, and I don't see any zoom. All I see is the same image right next to
Okay,
each
go
other.
back and let it zoom in. Just take a look at the video. It's being streamed right now from
Oh my God.
FTFE. Look, he's zooming in right now. He's taking another screenshot. So basically, while he's
Okay,
zooming in, he's stopping without zooming in. Wait,
I
stop.
realize this, but again, he's using what's called a regular. It's not an optical zoom.
It
It's
is an
still
optical zoom. That's the awesome thing about the P1000. It has a very wide range of optical zoom.
Anytime you zoom in, he's not using a prime lens. He's using a zoom lens, right? You still have compression issues, and without
Compression
having
in
the
what
camera
way?
in my hand, I can't speak to what other issues outside of atmospheric lensing is causing this situation. I don't know.
Okay, do me a favor and define what a prime lens is, please.
A prime lens is a non-zoomable lens, a 26 millimeter lens does not zoom in and zoom out. A prime lens is what we use in film.
So basically, it's a lens that has not the ability to zoom in or out.
Correct.
Right? You cannot zoom in, you cannot zoom out.
A 2600 millimeter lens is a pure 2600 millimeter lens.
Okay, then you said
25 millimeter.
Okay, you said earlier that if we had a strong enough zoom lens, that we would be able to see the entire boat in this case again. Didn't you say that?
I did, and I've done it myself. But you're asking me to comment on a photo.
Did you stop? Wait a second. So you're saying you did this, or you did say this?
I have done an experiment like this. Yes.
Yeah, wait a sec. Okay. Did you actually change the lens during the experiment?
No, I did not.
What did you do then?
What? Hey, what's up? Right? Sorry, hold on, guys.
Is he still on the phone?
Tell Nathan I said hi.
Right. Hey, Nate. Let me call you back. I'm in the middle of my my discussion here with GeoStreber, or how I don't know how to pronounce it.
GeoStreber.
Yeah.
Actually, you're all wrong, but that's fine. I expect nobody to pronounce this correctly.
Okay.
How do you pronounce your name?
It's pronounced GeoStreber.
GeoStreber.
GeoStreber. Okay. All right. So sorry about that. But my point is, I didn't change. I didn't change the lens. I used a zoom lens, and I was able to zoom in on the image. Again.
Okay. So
if I had
wait a
to
second.
Guess,
so it's, wait. Stop. Don't continue. We need to take this step by step. So it's fine for you to use a zoom lens, but it's not fine for us to use a zoom lens. That's
no, absolutely. Use a zoom lens. No.
You just said
use a zoom lens.
2 minutes ago. You just
Hold
said.
on.
You just said
wait,
2 minutes ago.
Stop. That's not what I said.
Yes.
Please don't put words in my mouth. What I said is, sure, use a zoom lens. But unless you as a photographer understand what the hell you're shooting, showing me a photograph and trying to explain it away as whatever you want to is irrelevant when I'm a photographer and say, hey, look, I don't know what the conditions are. I don't know what the camera lenses he's really using. And just, you're asking me to speak to somebody else's photography.
Yeah, you do realize that, first of all, you do realize that all P1000s are created equally, right? That means that he only has the one lens that is integrated into the camera.
Yeah, I know how P1000 works. Yeah, I get it.
Okay. Okay, so you know about the conditions of the camera, at least?
Yes.
Okay. Then why do you still think that this observation that he made is invalid? What parameters are changed that would invalidate it?
There are ways to manipulate a final product. In fact, there's hundreds of ways. Like I said, I'm not going to comment on somebody else's photography.
So wait a second. Are you saying that this pictures or this video is probably fake? Or
no, what I'm saying is I don't know. Well, could be, I guess, but I don't know what the. I've never shot with the P1000, so I don't know. Other than the specs on paper, I've never had it on a P1000. I know what they say it's love, but the image, if he's really zooming in, which I'm not sure he actually max capacity, but regardless of that, I'm not willing to make a statement on it without me actually having had my hands on the camera in question. All I can tell you is, as a photographer and videographer, obviously it's not zooming in. But I have done video where I have zoomed in on boats going over the curve. So I'm telling you, I don't know what the conditions are here. That's all I can
a
tell
second.
you.
You said obviously he's not zooming in. That's just what you said, right?
Okay, when I say obvious not zooming in, obviously it's not bringing the boat up above the water.
No, wait a second.
Yes.
Wait a second. You said, quote, he's obviously not zooming in.
Yeah, it's obviously
How are
not.
you able to? How are
How
you
am I
able
able
to
to
make
what?
that determination? How are you able to make that determination? If it's
Because
obvious
the
to
boat
you,
is
you should
the
be able
same
to
height.
explain it.
The boat is at the same height at the distance at which it's at and is not moving at all. It could
Do
be
you understand
photoshopped.
how slow boats are?
What?
Do you understand how slow boats are actually? Especially those big tanker
What is
ones,
that?
or
What is the
whatever
speed?
that thing is.
Geo, what does the speed of a boat have to do with anything?
You said that it would have to move. Are you talking about
No,
the boat
I said it
physically
would-
moving?
I said it should rise up again to the top of the water.
Okay,
Like
so
the boat
that
in
makes
the
your
front.
argument circular.
However-
That makes your argument
However,
circular.
hold on. There is an issue here. Can you pick out? Go back, Craig. Go back a little bit, so we have both. Can you zoom in on that image, on those two boats next to each other?
He does it for you there.
Do it again.
You can see he's zooming in now, and the video is actually playing as he zooms in as well.
Yeah. I wanted to try to see both of them on screen at the same time, and I'm not going to. So, okay.
He's not switching boats or anything. He's
No, but
concentrating on the one to the left.
Yeah, the problem is that this video could be masked, like what Nat Geo did with the helicopter, where they masked it to make it look like it was going down around the curve.
I mean, are you seriously
can't-
claiming that this video is fake?
I'm claiming it could be fake. I don't know. I'm not claiming it is or isn't. I'm saying what is happening in the screen is not what should be happening. That's all I can.
Okay,
claim.
if we showed it to be real, like, for example, by providing you the unedited footage, would you then consider
Which Dazzle
that...
has.
Which Dazzle has, yes. Would you then
If you gave me
consider...
the unedited footage,
Wait
so
a
I
second.
could.
Can you please not interrupt me when I'm in the middle
Hey,
of
Gio,
the sentence?
hey,
Thank
look,
you.
this is a discussion. This is a discussion. So if I say something, can you please untie your panties in a twist? I'm not trying to be rude. Okay, we're having a discussion. If you want to say, sure, I'll stop. Just quit being a jerk.
So, first of all,
I'm biting my
you were the
tongue
one
tonight.
who interrupted me mid-sentence. That makes you the jerk. Per
Because I
definition.
thought we were having
Right,
a
guys,
discussion.
let's try and keep this as civil as possible and just move forward with the discussion, please.
Yeah, as a moderator, can I explain just one thing to everybody? There's only one person that needs to hear this, but I'm going to explain it to everybody to not be biased.
Thank you for explaining.
Normally, when two adults discuss things, they typically let one adult finish talking before they decide to offer their opinion. So if Geo is talking and you interrupt him, that's
I've
you
been
being a rude
extremely
ass
polite.
dickhead.
I'm not going to be polite to
There
you.
you go.
Because you want
I
to
don't feel sorry to
actually
me.
come
You're-
out here
you're
and
a
talk down to
pussy.
people. So I'm not dealing with that crap.
You're a
It's childish.
pussy. Shut up.
Come on,
Did
everyone.
you talk
let's-
to your wife and make sure she was okay?
Whatever, douchebag.
To let you fucking have this fucking conversation?
Come on, all right,
That's right,
let's
keep
move
running,
on.
bitch.
Grow the fuck up.
Right.
Okay,
On your
coming
face.
back to the
Blow
argument
up
there.
all over your face.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Coming back to the argument here. If we provided you with the original footage, meaning the unedited footage that pretty
Gio,
much
hold
directly
on.
comes from...
Craig,
Oh, why?
Craig,
Why?
if this happens again, I'm out, dude. I'm not dealing with team's baby bullshit, dude.
All right,
I'm
all
just
right,
telling you.
Let's just move forward, everyone. Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, for the third time, if we actually provided you with the footage, with the original footage pretty much directly off of the sensor of the camera, and it would show to you that it's not Photoshopped because it's just the original thing without any edits, would you consider that your idea that the boat would have to rise to the surface again would be invalid?
Well, let me ask you this question, Gio. Do you know who I am and what I do?
Sort of.
Okay. I own a film production company, okay? And you would have to provide me with the raw footage, and I would then have to take my computer and be able to verify raw footage, and that hadn't been edited. So if that is the case, and that turned out to be the case, I would proceed a scientific investigation, or at least a technical investigation, and find out why image is acting the way it's acting. So sure.
So
If
yeah,
you could get me the raw footage?
Yeah, well, as raw as it can get, right? I don't know whether the P1000 actually captures stuff in RAW. I would have to.
Okay, when I say raw footage, I mean directly off the camera. I'm not talking about raw. Okay.
Yeah, well, because obviously some cameras compress the files themselves internally because they just don't have enough bandwidth. So, for example, I've actually heard a flat earther claim that you can actually only use raw footage in the sense of .raw that comes directly off the data of the sensor without any compression artifacts or anything. You're not one of those, right?
No, because apparently that guy didn't understand that some camera was automatically compressed the image. It depends on how it was, what format it was recorded in. So
okay.
When I say raw, I mean if you're shooting in 4K, I want the raw 4K image. I can take that image, look at the metadata, and tell you instantly whether or not it's raw or not. And I don't mean raw as in the file format. I mean raw as in this came directly off the sensor. Right.
Yeah. Okay. That's no problem. I can provide you with it. But if we say that it's we can verify that this is actually not edited footage, right? Would you then consider that you might be wrong on this?
I always, Gio, I didn't wake up one day and decide to be a flat earth. I woke up one day and decided I was going to try and prove that the earth was round, couldn't do so, and became a flat earther. So I'm always open to that, but I'm not going to that's not going to probably happen with me.
What, can you repeat the last sentence, please? You sometimes
I
just
said it's
robot
probably
out
not going to happen with one image. But I always consider
not going to happen with one image.
I'm not going to change from being a flitter based on video image.
Well, okay, I guess it's fair for one observation.
One observation doesn't prove. We've got hundreds and thousands of observations, man. FTFE's got a list of experiments they've done that, modern day realistic experiments. I'm surprised you're sitting here arguing this with me and you've never gone out and done an experiment. If I have any critique of any globe earther, that's my critique. Is we're sitting here talking about a topic that I apparently am the only one in the room that's gone out and done any kind of scientific experiment.
Are you still there, Gio?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Wait a second. My microphone sometimes mutes itself. I'm sorry.
No, okay, that's fine. Gio had broken up there.
Yeah, it's a hardware switch that's kind of wonky. Well, of course, we've gone out and done experiments. For example, the angle of Polaris. For example, check the angle of Polaris. I'm answering your question. For example, the angle of Polaris towards the horizon is something you actually do every day when you go out. Well, at night, that is. Do you understand why the angle of... Yes.
It's not an experiment.
In what way isn't it?
Well, what is the definition of an experiment, Gio?
It's when you...
I guess we'll go back to Science 101.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
An experiment is...
Dude, wait a second. Stop. If you ask me a question, then let me answer.
Answer it then.
An experiment.
Go ahead.
Yeah. An experiment is when you go out and gather data to test a hypothesis.
Oh, the experiment is the entire process of the scientific method.
No, the experiment itself is not the entire process.
It is the entire process.
No.
Wow.
No. You have to develop a hypothesis or a theory first that can be tested with the experiment.
Gio, would you
It's based on yes, but
would you like
the
to tell
scientific method is the process by which you do an experiment. That is the basics of science.
Yeah,
Jim,
but you got it the wrong way around.
Gio, could you just tell
No, that's
JM
what I
what
just
you've just got your master's in, just so he knows that you're
Yeah,
aware of science and stuff?
I just completed my master's degree in inorganic chemistry about 3 months ago, I think.
Okay. So you're in organic chemistry arguing...
Organic chemist. Inorganic. If
Physics.
that didn't come
Okay.
over correctly, I'm an inorganic chemist. I deal with transition metal complexes with
I'm
chiral
sorry, did I get
ligands.
it wrong? Did you say inorganic chemistry?
Yes, I got my master's
Okay,
in
I
inorganic
apologize.
chemistry. I deal with
Okay.
transition metal complexes with chiral ligands.
I don't even know what that means.
Basically, the organic molecules around the metal center that I'm using have stereo centers.
Okay.
Do you know what a stereo center is?
Nope.
Okay, well, I guess that's a topic for another day. Let's just stick for flat Earth or to flat Earth today, if that's what you want.
Yeah, I'm surprised trying to tell me then even more so that the scientific method is not the process by which you do an experiment.
No, that's not what I said.
Because I don't know
You
if
said
on
that
Earth that would tell you that's actually correct.
Craig, can you actually wind or rewind this hangout a little bit? Is that possible? Okay, then forget
no.
about it.
No.
Didn't he just say like
How
2
far
minutes
back?
ago that
Hey, I can do it. I can do it. How far back?
Yeah,
2
whatever.
minutes, you said?
Yeah,
Just get to the
approximately
point.
maybe
All
3.
right, I'll
I don't know. Not relevant. We can look that up later. Didn't he just say that an experiment is the entire scientific method?
I think so.
That's what he literally said, isn't it?
I did say that, meaning that you have to use a scientific method to do a full experiment.
Yeah, that's not what you said. You said an experiment is literally the entire scientific method. And I corrected you on this, saying, no, there's more steps involved here that happen before an experiment is even thought about or
I will
performed.
concede.
And you
We had a miscommunication. I'll concede. That's what. So if that's not what I said, I'll give that to you.
Okay, thanks. So coming back to the actual topic, we were talking about the angle of Polaris towards the horizon, and you were saying that this is not an experiment?
No, it's not an experiment.
In what way isn't it?
An experiment is where you test a hypothesis, not an observation. An observation is part of an experiment, but an observation in and of itself is not an experiment.
Well, you do understand that both the flat Earth model, the different varieties of it, and the globe Earth model actually predict the angle of Polaris to be different on different positions of the planet or on the planet. You're aware of that, right?
Why? Okay, I may be getting a little touchy. Why are you asking me if I'm aware of these things?
Yeah, because I'm not sure whether you are. That's the point.
Well, you've been to my website, right?
What?
You've been
Please
to my
repeat the last
website,
sentence.
correct?
Yeah, I didn't read the entire thing, just parts of it.
Okay. Well, you're a
So, yeah,
graduate. I'm a
that's why I
graduate.
want to clarify.
I think, I pretty much think that, yeah, I understand. What's your point?
Okay. So whenever you go out and you check the angle of Polaris towards the horizon, you're kind of partaking in an experiment that pretty much everybody is doing. We are just not collecting the data collectively somewhere, at least not actively. I mean, there's astronomers that do this, but every time you go out, you actually partake in this, and every time you measure it, you partake in this. The problem is that
do me a
if you
favor.
actually
hold on. Let me go back and repeat your statement one more time. When you go outside and you look at Polaris,
yes. When you go outside and you measure the angle towards Polaris, you're partaking in an experiment. Whether you're just doing it once.
Yes. I didn't understand you to say measure the angle of Polaris versus observe the angle of Polaris.
Well, one is just a subcategory of the other, isn't it?
No. Nope, they're not. One you're looking and not even bothering to measure. One you're actually taking an actual scientific measurement. So my question to you is, with measuring the angle of Polaris.
Can you repeat the question, please? You were roboting out again.
With what instrument are you measuring Polaris?
With the telescope, basically.
How do you measure the angle of Polaris with a telescope? And they've changed in the last years. As far as I'm aware, they don't measure the things. But I will concede the fact that I haven't looked in a telescope in years. But
yeah, basically you just when you point the telescope at Polaris, and if you have a good telescope, it will tell you the angle between the plane that it's standing on and the elevation of the telescope directly.
okay.
That's all you need to do.
So they do that. Apparently, they do that now. Okay,
Hey guys, before we go any further, and I'm not going to try to be an ass here. I'm actually going to be as polite as possible. JM Truth, I really think it's very unprofessional for you to be eating during the debate. I mean, we can literally hear your food as you are scooping it out of your food bowl and all that. We had this debate planned out much time in advance, I believe. I would just prefer it if you would be a little bit professional to fight the flat earth. I'm only stepping in as a mod here. I'm not addressing the arguments made. All right, thank you. You see where we're coming from, right? I'm not the only one that said anything.
I was told this was not a debate. We keep saying this word. I'm about to jump ship because I'm kind of done with the whole debate.
Even a
thing.
discussion.
We had
this planned out.
With every chance you get, let me finish, please. Every chance you trying to make me look bad, I'll fucking leave. I don't give a shit.
Jim,
I don't.
Jim, it was just because every little noise and chew and everything, it's coming through very clear for the whole stream. I'd personally appreciate it if you could hold off your meal
it could
until.
have been texted in the box instead of said publicly.
Okay, all right, but
that's not something I would have done publicly. I would have texted in the box, and that's professionalism, team. Not you being a child.
Just moving forward, if you wouldn't mind saving your meal until we finish, that would be great. Thank you.
Wait a second, stop. First of all, I don't actually give a fuck whether he's eating or not. If you think you can hear it through the audio to YouTube, that's a different thing, but I really don't give a crap.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm diabetic. I haven't eaten all day, so I was trying to get some food in my
that's fair enough.
body. Thanks, team. Dickhead.
All right, moving on.
You're such a child.
Are you under
dude.
the
I'm
impression
so
that I said that? Are you under the impression that I said that to spite you? Because there's people in the audience that were talking about it in the live chat. There were people. There were people that messaged me on Discord that brought it up. Okay, I was just bringing it up.
Then you could have texted it, bro. You texted it in the text box.
Right, let's move on.
It is a big deal.
Let's move on.
Talk about professionalism. Just
To
saying.
you, I don't care.
No, I'm saying you don't care. I do.
Okay,
That's the difference between us, team.
Can we move on? All right,
You're funny.
Craig, if this ever happens again, I don't want team part of anything anymore. I'm done with him.
all right,
He's about as professional as a pig.
let's all just move forward, please.
So coming back towards Polaris, you do understand that both the flat Earth model and the globe Earth model make predictions about this, and the flat Earth model.
You know what? I think
fail.
Craig. I think I am. I'm just.
You don't have to be.
I didn't say
Jim.
anything.
There's
I didn't
we
say
can
anything.
carry
I'll
this
let you
on.
get
Right,
away with it.
We can just move on forward past this now. If it's fine.
Because this is two stabs he's taken to me publicly.
Okay.
This is twice now.
Let's just move on. and carry on with the discussion. You know, as you said, both yourself and Geo are both graduates. You both have master's level education. So let's just continue talking about the science. Is there any other points, Geo, that you would like to bring up?
Yeah, well, I'm still trying to bring up the first point here. I want to ask you, Joshua. Obviously, you are aware about the angle of Polaris towards the ground, right? And you are aware that that's depending on your position on the planet. When you go north, it rises further up in the sky. When you go closer to the equator, it gets closer to the fucking ground. And you do realize that both the Flat Earth model and the Globe Earth model make predictions toward that. And so far, all the predictions that Flat Earthers make fail. Do you have a way to explain this? And do you have a way to show that what Globe Earthers measure and show and think about it is wrong?
Let me make sure that I'm understanding your question. Are you asking me explain why it gets closer to the ground, the farther away from north you get, and the closer to south you get? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, but not only that it's doing this, but in what way? That there's a linear correlation between the distance you walk north or south towards the angle that it's changing.
Sure. There's actually videos showing this.
Okay, how do you explain this on the Flat Earth model?
Well, first, understanding that I wanted to cover this before. So before I cover this, let me make sure that we're all in understanding, because Fights the Flat Earth, Craig's in opening says that we're a disk floating through space. That's not at all what I believe is going on. Disk and all the other planets around, we're not flying through space. We're not raising up at whatever the speed is to compensate for gravity. None of that model is what most flat earthers believe. So if that's the premise you came to this discussion with, you're already on the wrong premise.
Okay, so if
That's
I'm on the wrong premise, can you present your model and make a prediction in regards to how it behaves regarding Polaris? Okay.
The Earth is a relatively flat, I like to call it a pizza with veggies and stuff on it because I don't eat meat, but it's relatively flat. It has a dome over us that is probably made of some type of glass type material. That having been said, you live in a terrarium, and the terrarium and the model to which we actually believe we're in actually is the best predictor of what we see in the world around us. Gas pressure being one of them disproves the whole spinning globe thing.
Yeah, but we're not talking about gas pressure at the moment. We're specifically talking about the angle of Polaris towards the ground.
You asked me to present the model. I'm presenting the model.
Yeah, I asked you to present the model and show how it actually predicts what we actually see in the sky regarding Polaris. That was my specific question.
I don't understand how you guys do this and you never bothered to go look stuff up. It doesn't.
What hasn't he looked up, JM?
Well, there are hundreds of flat Earth models that show the sun going, how the sun and moon operate, how light operates.
Did I ask you about the sun?
I'm sorry. I thought we were discussing how Polaris moved.
Yes, and Polaris is not the sun, right?
No. Correct. But if you don't understand there's a dome over you, then you don't understand how the physics works.
Okay, then do me a favor and present me a model that predicts, or from which properties you can predict the behavior of Polaris in regards to its angle towards the horizon on any given position on the planet.
It's simply an optical illusion based on the distance from an object and something called atmospheric lensing and compression that causes the dome or the image to fall back towards the Earth. That actually,
Yeah. Again, you have to
it's
present it.
photography, but
You have to present
you're
that.
asking me to
You
present
have to
something.
show. Yes, I'm asking you to present something and how it's
don't-
actually compatible with what we see.
Okay, but I don't have that data in front of me to present it to you.
Okay, so you can't. Can you link me a
It's not
source,
that I
maybe?
can't. I don't have. Yes, I can't. I don't have the videos at my fingertips to find. I'd have to go look.
Okay,
for it.
can you link me a source?
I can, not at this very moment. No, but yeah, I can.
Okay, so let's shift that
Here's
away
what-
for a
here's-
second.
Let me ask you real quick. This is more of an academic question. What is the purpose of this conversation, Geo? Is it
What is the purpose
is the
of what, please?
Hold on. I'm going to ask a question and give you some options. What is the purpose of our conversation today? Is it A, to make JM look like an idiot, which probably is a team reason. B, is it to find truth, or C, is it just to argue? What is your reason for having this conversation? Because my interest, my academic interest in the shape of the Earth and the physics of how it all works is to find out why exactly we've been lied to. See, if you don't believe you've been lied to and you still believe you live on a spinning ball, but you can't prove it, then we're at an impasse.
Is this
if
a
we're here
question
to
to me, or do you want to answer it yourself?
Are you going to let me finish? Ever?
Yeah, you're breaking up all the time. I'm sorry. I just don't know when you're finished.
Okay. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, you gave me basically 3 different answers to the question of what the purpose of this conversation is. But it looks like you're answering this question yourself.
I'm hoping that none of those 3 answers are actually the answer that you actually have an academic answer for me.
Well, a question B sounds kind of good, right? It was finding out what the truth is, right?
Yeah?
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I'm here.
You're here.
There's actually more than the 3 reasons. There's actually more than the 3 reasons that you gave me. I actually want to find out how flat earthers work. Because they seem to buy into that one mindset that I just can't get my head around.
So you're actually here to see how flares work as opposed to how the Earth works.
No. I'm trying to find out what your motivations are and how your thinking process works. And yes, I also want to find out because... Wait a second, stop. That's why I also said B, to find out what the truth is. Yeah, if I'm wrong on the shape of the planet, then I'm wrong on the shape of the planet. I want to find this out, clearly, yes.
What if it's not even a planet?
Well, if I'm wrong about this too, then I'm wrong about this too, and I want to know.
But see, at your academic level, I would assume that you should be able to go do these experiments yourself. See, I spent hours and hours and hours doing experiments and have a ton of... So you obviously haven't, because your arguments are the same. Every time I sit down with the globe earther, it's, why do you believe the Earth's flat? I don't believe the Earth's flat. I can prove it's flat. It's not even a matter of belief. But the basics is, most of you don't... You think belief is truth. And that's one of the problems.
Okay, let's just do it this way. So if you think that if you think that the Earth is flat in a way, what is your best piece of evidence? You know, one that you would bet your reputation on, by which you think you can show that the Earth is flat?
Oh, water always finds its level.
Do you know what a centrifuge is?
Absolutely, I know what a centrifuge.
Okay. Do you understand that the water will just simply follow the force that is acted upon it?
I just gave you water finds its level. Let me rephrase that. In an undisturbed situation, water finds its level. A centrifuge.
Sorry, you broke up at the end there, Jim. Just repeat that.
I said water finds its level. A centrifuge is not undisturbed. Like you're asking me to compare apples and oranges.
In what way am I comparing apples to oranges? You can
Well,
see
if
that.
I take
No,
water.
Stop! I wasn't finished. Please let me just rephrase or make my question more clear. Do you understand that a force, the water is acted upon by a force? If it's undisturbed, that's why it's flowing downhill and ending up in the sea. You understand that there's a force there, right?
You keep asking me this question, and it's kind of offensive, actually.
In what way?
Because it implies that you're smart and I'm stupid.
No, I just want
not
to
understand?
know what you need to find out, or what you already know. Whether you're
If I
ignorant
don't
on
know, I'll
physics
tell
or not
you.
is complete. Yeah, I'm
If
just
I don't
making
know,
clear.
I'll tell you. I don't know. Like with your degree, I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you realize that I have a degree in
I
chemistry,
understand
not in
basics of
physics, but
physics.
whatever. Okay.
I understand if I pour
so-
water
so-
out,
so
it
you
falls
do-
to the ground. Yeah, got that.
Yes. Okay. You don't know why that is because a force is acting upon it. Correct?
Right. Did you just say publicly that I don't know why that is?
No, I did not.
Craig, is that not what you just said?
No. He was asking you if that is the case.
Oh, okay. All right. Then yes, got it.
Okay. So there's a force acting upon water. And obviously it's following, or it's acted upon by that force, and as a result, it starts to move, and at some point end up in a lake or basin or bathtub or sea or whatever. Now, if you have another force acting upon it, like for example in a centrifuge, what happens?
The water is pushed side of the centrifuge. I understand. I worked with, and in the medical field a long time, I've worked with centrifuges. What's your point?
Yeah, my point is that water will follow whatever force is acting upon it. And you do understand that gravity is a force in the Newtonian sense that will pull any objects towards the center of mass, and which
Not
is completely
in a
compatible with
Newtonian
electricity.
sense, no.
In
Actually,
the Newtonian
in a
sense, it is the
Newtonian
force,
sense,
yes.
Well, no. Gravity is a force by definition, but there is no what you call gravity, and by which gravity in your world you say it works the way you say it does.
Yes.
There's
In
no.
what way doesn't it work the same way we expect it
Well,
to work?
because I believe that there's a force as well. The difference is I believe that Coulomb's law is the actually causes the density table to exist, which in essence
Wait a
is what
second.
causes
Coulomb's law. You mean
Coulomb's law. Yeah.
electric attraction by two different opposing charges?
Yeah, electrostatic force, correct.
Yes, exactly. Wouldn't this mean that you would short yourself out when touching the ground?
No, it doesn't. Because the ground isn't what is or even magnified.
Okay,
I mean,
then.
the ground has a magnetic force to it. You realize that
if you were sitting. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
you realize that electricity and magnetism are basically the same thing.
Yes. Well, they're two different phenomena for the same reason that have a common cause.
Based on charge, yeah.
Based on charge and moving charge, basically.
And well, yeah, yeah. If you're talking about alternating current, yeah.
Yeah, not only that, but basically electron spin is the main cause for magnetism.
But there's no observation in nature that you can make to explain gravity as defined by Newton or even Einstein.
I don't agree.
I know you don't. So give me an example.
For example, all the experiments that we do regarding orbits, for example, when predicting orbits of newly discovered asteroids, we use gravity, the theory of gravity, to actually determine
again,
where that asteroid is going to be in the future and where it was in the past.
Right, but everything that you've said, every image you've seen of space, every image you've seen, stars, planets, all that stuff is all CGI. None of it's real.
Okay, what about the moon, for example?
What about the moon?
Yeah, the moon is a
for all you
natural
know,
orbiting satellite.
Hey, JM, just before you guys go on,
Yeah.
so you've got something to reference about that CGI thing. Have a look at this for me. And what would you say that image is? I'll ask both you and GeoStreber. What is this image and how was it created?
It's a composite image of multiple different things. Without tearing it, I don't know. I mean, it's an artist rendering.
guessing?
It's a computer painting. Hold on, let me finish. It's a computer painting, is what I would call it.
GeoStreber, what would you say that was?
I guess, is it the newest picture of Geist View?
One of them, yes. JM, that was taken with this, a telescope and a camera. Simply that and this tracking software. It's not computer generated, it's not composites. It is a very long exposure shot taken with a camera and a telescope that anybody can buy.
I can't validate that, and you can't validate that. So I can't.
I've seen the raw pictures, and I know the person that's taken them. I can validate that. I'm just saying.
Okay, do me a favor.
Also, you can buy a telescope yourself if you want to.
And
I'm not saying that they're cheap.
The person that took these images is actually in the chat.
Geo.
The person that took these images is in the chat.
I've seen lots of telescopes, Geo. I understand how a telescope works. I used to own one. Okay.
He took all of these images himself, and he's actually in the chat now. And it's just one person with his equipment.
I'm kind of envious there because those pictures are fucking amazing.
I know, right? I'm going to pay him for some.
The images are cool. I will give you that.
So, do you think that they are fake?
No, I know they're fake.
Okay, so if we were to do if a Geist was about to do a live stream about making one, would you watch that? And would you then accept it as evidence?
Yeah, well, as evidence, no. Would I watch it? Sure, absolutely. Again, I try to avoid making absolute predictions without actually being present or having my hand in the experiment or observation at some level. So the only thing I can do is take an image, put it in my software, tear it apart, and see if it's real or not.
So if somebody actually invited you to join not only a live stream, but actually going to the location and taking the pictures yourself, would you accept that?
Would I do it? Would I accept it? Again, I'd have to do the research on the equipment we're using, and there's really a lot of things. There's telescopes out there that have software with them as well. So I'm not saying this is the case. I'm just saying there are telescopes that exist that have software take images from, not actually from what you're actually observing.
But you realize that you could test it by just, for example, holding your hand in front of the lens and everything. You can just check whether the live stream that you're getting out on the laptop would be identical or would be caused directly by the telescope.
Yeah, do you realize that the image that Craig just played, or whoever it was that played, with the water that's floating up, that's actually CGI. That's actually a computer video.
Again,
rendered in real time.
Citation needed.
Huh?
They did
citation
that,
needed.
They did that live again.
Okay, but Craig, live, they have software and equipment where they have balls that they're playing with that aren't even in real space, but you see them on the image. That's called CGI. Or what is it? 3D. I'd have to go look it up. You know what I'm talking about. They do it in movies all the time too. They do it in Avatar. So I've actually got
Avatar's
NASA.
not live
I've
rendered.
got-
Do you actually understand that
No, it
the
is-
amount
no.
of compute power?
Yeah, Geo,
Wait a
you're
second,
wrong.
stop.
They can do it in real time.
Yeah, but not in that quality.
Yes, they can.
Do you understand?
Absolutely, they can.
Do you understand how long it takes for one of those companies to render a single frame of a 3D animated film, for example?
Yeah.
Just
so,
ask
Are you
Pixar or
are you
LucasArts or
Geo,
whoever.
Are you a filmmaker?
No.
Yes
hey,
or no?
JM,
I already said no,
I make
I'm
my
not.
own videos, as you know. I don't know if you've seen my recent videos where I have a hologram come out of my hand. One of those holograms takes about 20 to 25 minutes to render about 3 or 4 minutes worth of
Right,
footage
because
of a
you don't
hologram.
have the software. The government does. I get it.
Yeah, again,
I mean,
the
Adobe
conspiracy
After
theory
Effects
here.
is industry
Makes,
standard.
hold on. The government makes $56 million a day. You don't think they have
Oh,
the ability to
no.
buy software to do that shit now?
They're making $56 million a day on NASA, while they're taking how many trillions of dollars per year on military equipment?
This is one of the most recent pictures that GeoStreber's taken of the Andromeda Galaxy, and if you can see just below and just below the galaxy where that really bright star is, there's a streak, and above the galaxy where the bright star is, there's another streak. That is 2 satellites that were caught in the long exposure images of him taken, which you could verify the position of the satellites and the time to prove that this isn't fake.
Okay, well, I've most of these images I've already looked through.
Well, no,
And
you wouldn't have seen these
been
because
able
these,
to
No, not,
this, was,
not
they're
these,
actually
definitely
paint-
not these. These are brand new.
this was literally taken yesterday, so you wouldn't have seen this.
I said some images. I didn't say this image.
You said most of these images.
Okay, that's correct.
Word
I
for word.
falsely assumed he pulled that off the NASA website.
Nope.
That's correct, because
Nope,
I've seen
yeah.
an image similar to that very image.
Yeah.
So
Again, this picture was taken yesterday. Do you think it's faked?
absolutely, I think it's fake.
Okay, so that's 2 people we've had on recently that basically say GeoStreber's a liar.
Can
But I
can
mean,
I make
you
a
can
point
just
real quick?
continue.
Well,
You can
hold on,
just
hold on,
continue
hold on.
claiming that the
Let me-
government is doing some sort of sick
me raise-
conspiracy.
Hold on. Let me raise the bar here a minute.
Okay,
I
try.
have NASA astronauts who claim they've walked in space. We've pulled these videos showing wires, green screens, blue screens, all this stuff. It's actually quite cool. I have an astronaut who claimed that we destroyed the technology to go back to the moon. And then I have him on a personal interview admitting, oh, no, we didn't destroy it. After he told the world they destroyed the technology. I have that. I'll be presenting that in my movie, my documentary. So, you can show me images all day. An image is just an image.
Yeah, but
just one sec,
the
guys.
difference is no,
Geo.
stop.
Okay.
Stop. I need to make this point right now.
Okay.
You can, JM Truth, Joshua, you can continue making conspiratorial claims against NASA all day long. But what you cannot do is make conspiratorial claims about amateur observers, like, for example, GeoStreber, which is why I think it's a little bit weird, maybe a little bit dishonest of you to immediately change from observations that you could do if you wanted to, or that I could do if I had the equipment, or that our common friend GeoStreber is doing every now and then, for example, yesterday night, with equipment that can be bought for a few hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars from Amazon at this point.
Do you?
So why
you
did
realize
you change your topic to the topic to NASA when we're talking about amateur astronomy here?
All right. Team wants to say something. It's going to be nice about it. So just as a moderator.
Just to ensure consistency amongst the discussioners, twice now Geo has brought up observations with picture evidence from people that, granted, are not him. So the first one was Dazza the cameraman. The second one was GeoStreber. Okay, No,
Actually,
not,
three
and
times.
we won't say it.
Ranty.
Geo didn't bring it up. Yeah. Okay,
You
three
forgot
times,
Ranty.
three times. And on all three times, JM, you said that you would not accept those proofs because you thought they were fake. You had no way of verifying anything or anything like that. But then earlier, when Geo said that there are no pictures that are zoomed in where the bottoms just come rising up of things that have gone over the curve, and you said, yes, I've done hundreds of them. And he said, okay, well, present it. And you go, well, I haven't done hundreds of them, but I've seen them, which is fine. I'm totally okay with that. That was
actually.
But how have you been able to verify? How have you been able to verify those pictures that you claimed show that the bottom is going up if you're not the one that took them and Geo can't use the same thing?
I never said Geo can't use the same thing.
Okay, that's fine.
You've literally just said
showing me
that everything was
images.
fake. You said everything that
Well-
you wouldn't accept any of those images because you didn't know the history of the image and that they could have been fake. But you have images that you've seen several times. You said you have hundreds of images you've seen that show that the Earth is flat through different observations indirectly, like the sun reflecting off of water, things rising up where you can see the bottom when you zoom in. You said that you've seen hundreds of these photos, and then you've also told Geo that you didn't take any of these photos, that these were photos of that from other people that you saw. So I just want to know how you were able to tell that those photos weren't lies.
How was I able
that's
to
it.
tell
Just keeping
which photos
consistency.
weren't lies?
Yeah, he's basically asking photos and videos that you've seen. How do you know that they aren't fake, but the ones that we
Because
have
I
presented
can
are?
I can take them into a software and dissect them and tell whether or not the image is real or not.
Okay, have you done that with any of the photos that we presented today?
Today, no. But I've done them with
Actually,
hundreds of photos. Hold on. Let me finish.
Yeah.
I've done them with hundreds of photos on the NASA website.
Okay, so if we send you Guy's Views observations right now, would you be able to do it live?
I could do it now.
I would
I've
be
got
able to do it
Photoshop
live.
open. I could do all that now and have a look at these images the same way that you do. If
Actually,
you want me to
I
do that.
would prefer it for JM Truth to do
Yeah,
this.
that's fine.
Yeah. Good. Will I do it right now? No,
Why? Why not?
because I'm not set up to do it right now.
I'll happily send you
Could
these
you
videos,
set it up?
these pictures. I would love to see you dissect these pictures with your photo forensic analysis skills, JM. I'll happily send you the images that I've been given by Geistview.
Send them to me and we'll set this up again and I'll do it live. That's fine.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, I kind of want to
Can
see
I
it.
ask just a question?
I actually offered to do it on another channel, but they never got back to me. So
What are you going to say, team?
JM, can I ask you a quick question? For the pictures that are on your website, like the orange moon photo that Geo pointed out to you, did you run those through photo forensics before accepting those as evidence and putting them on your website with a point saying that these photos show that the Earth cannot be curved?
did I run that photo through a forensic analysis? No, honestly, I did not.
All the photos on your website that you're proclaiming as evidence or supporting your
Most
your
of them,
claims.
team, yes, most of them I did.
Then why not that one?
That one specifically I didn't, because actually that's a replacement photo for another one that I had, and it was a blue. It was blue versus orange, and I grabbed it and snagged it because it was orange and it looked a little better, I think, on my website than the blue moon image that I had. Did I forensic analysis? No, I didn't. I'm just being honest. So,
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah.
like I said, I'm not a liar. I will tell you I didn't do something if I didn't do it. So
So we kind of went off track here.
Yeah, right. Sorry, Gio. I just thought I wanted to get his opinion on those.
Don't worry, it's fine. Is there maybe anything you want to ask me? Because it's getting really late here, I think I'll have to quit in like 20-30 minutes. It's 1:15 a.m. my time.
to ask you,
Yeah, if you want.
if you I guess the only question I really have is if you really want the truth, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. You can go do your own investigation, do your own experiments. You know, like I said, the only reason I'm even a flat earther is because I did a ton of experiments. I wasn't at the time smart enough to record them. I wish I had. But I am going to go back and redo them. But I couldn't prove the Earth is round. So I think it's funny. We're arguing with photos, and there's photos of hundreds of miles where you shouldn't be able to see anything curvature, and globe earthers never want to address them. I think the farthest photo I've seen is like 1,100 miles, which is an incredible photograph.
Wait a second. Did you just say 1,100 miles from one position on the surface of the planet to another position?
Correct. That's what I just said.
Yeah, no. I would like to see the source of this.
Do you mean, JM, the
The
world
world
record
record's like
infrared
only
photography?
279.
All I have was both you talking over each other. What?
Sorry, are you referring to the world record infrared photography?
Yes.
Okay, let me just get the details of that up.
Yeah, if it's the one that I think you're talking about, it's from the Alps over the Mediterranean to northern Spain, or the other way around, I think. Yeah, it's from the Pyrenees over to the Alps, and that's approximately 450 kilometers, I think. So yeah, far off from the 1,100 miles that you just claimed 2 minutes ago.
Okay, then that's not the photo I'm talking about.
Okay, then do me a favor and find the photo that you're talking about.
I'll find it. I can't do it right
I'm
this
looking
minute.
it up right
I'm not
now.
gonna go on.
Yeah, if you find it, send it to me, please, team. I'm trying to find that one.
I mean, you just
Yeah,
made
well-
a claim again that you cannot support by any type of evidence.
It's not that I can't support it. It's that I'm not going to go on a goose chase for every little thing that we talk about when we're talking about discussion. You know, originally, actually, I was set up for failure. No offense, Craig, but I was told to be no presentations. So
No.
I don't have. I literally have nothing in front of me. Craig should let you know. I was told no presentation, so I literally don't have anything to show.
Well, let me just clarify on this. This isn't a presentation anyway. It's just me spontaneously grabbing the screen. So I didn't prepare for this at all, apart from reading your website to a certain degree.
All right, I think I've found the image that you're referring to, JM. Just if I'm wrong, please let me know. But I'm pretty sure that this is the world record.
You found it?
infrared one.
I couldn't find it.
Is it this one that you're referring to?
No, but that's 400 miles. That's still
What, 443
That's
kilometers?
400
It's
kilometers.
279.
400 kilometers.
That's
It's
like-
not
yeah.
miles.
Yes.
It's in kilometers.
Like
It's
280
443
miles or
kilometers is the big number that I can read there. From the position where it's taken to Peak Gaspar, I guess it's pronounced, 443 kilometers. Let me just translate that into miles.
I wouldn't
That
even-
is
they didn't even realize they had taken that picture
275
until
miles.
later. Did you know that, Gio? They didn't even know that they captured that mountain until they processed the film later and realized that they captured it.
No, I didn't.
Well,
But
right,
That's
right,
cool,
but
though.
that actually,
It's pretty amazing.
it's not only amazing, it's actually a globe killer.
Are you
Okay.
sure about this?
Let's discuss
Yeah,
that. That's a good point to discuss. Why do you think that is a globe killer? I'll give you a couple of minutes for you to explain, and then we'll let GeoStreber respond to that.
Give me a second. How many miles away is that?
It's 443 kilometers.
275.
Yeah, 275 miles.
275.26 miles. 275.26.
Okay, assuming that my math is correct, mountain should be behind 50,416 feet.
What's the height of the observer? Because that's relevant.
Yeah, it is relevant. I don't know what.
Team Skeptic
you know what
/
the height
Craig,
of
do
the-
you guys know?
It should say on the photograph. Most
Yeah,
of those
yeah,
have
I'm looking that
all
up
the data
now.
on the photograph.
It's
Taken
well,
from...
the guys who took the picture don't speak. They didn't write it in English. I'm trying to go back to the notes that I have that explains the photo, but the
which language is it?
camera height. Let's see.
If it's Spanish or French, I can probably translate it.
I believe it's French. It may. I'll hold on. I'll send it to you in 1 second. I'm looking at the taken from Peak de Finestras, 2,820 meters up.
2820.
That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, 2.8 kilometers. 2.8 kilometers is the height of the observation on Peak de Finestras. I know I'm saying that wrong, but whatever.
Wait, I think that's the other peak, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, no. Are they at 4.102? Barra des Ecrans?
Can you show the picture again, please?
Yeah.
So Peak Gaspar.
Oh, okay.
What's
I have
the
an
name of
interactive
the
simulation I just found too?
Okay, according to
It's
the
Peak
Earth
de
curve calculator.
Finestras.
Oh God, Peak de Fines. What? Can you spell that?
Finestrelles.
Finestrelles.
Okay, I'm looking at it right here. I have latitude, longitude, and altitude of the camera. The latitude is 42.41. Longitude is 2.13. I'm assuming that's north, and I'm not sure whether that's east or west. But
Yeah, found it.
altitude is
I found it.
2820 plus or minus
my
2
numbers
meters.
were incorrect. It should be behind 3,938 feet of curve.
And what was the height of the camera team?
2820.
2820.
Okay, so let me just show the Earth curve calculator. Can you see my screen at the moment? Am I sharing?
No, you're not
sharing.
right now.
There we go.
Yep, let me just put you on...
Not coming in. So distance in kilometers 443, viewer height in meters 2,820, with refraction approximation refracted hidden value 3.82 kilometers. How tall is the mountain? The one that they're looking at? What is the peak?
Give me
Gaspar
1
Peak.
second
I got
to
it.
pull out.
That one is tall, 3.9 kilometers. So it would be barely visible.
So it actually matches the calculations of a globe Earth.
Yes, barely.
And obviously we understand that refraction can alter images, but it's certainly not the amount that JM was saying there.
So that's the height.
Can I read a note from the? Can I read?
Yeah, go ahead, team.
Can I read a note from the? These are from the people that took the photo and one kind of like a publication they put out afterwards to explain what was going on. I just want to read one thing. Mathematically produced and repeated in the same dates, the atmospheric refraction without it would always be covered by the sea, and in some cases without conjunctions, at the mercy of very good transparency of the all. Meaning that most days you're not going to get this photo. It's going to be completely impossible to take this photo. Only on the dates where the refraction is at the perfect amount will you be able to take this photo. Like they said, they weren't even expecting to catch the mountain in the back. They were actually there to take a picture of another mountain peak. But that's just coming off of there, and that's on the website too. If we need to share the website, I will.
Now, what was the height of the observer?
2,820.
2,200. Or 2,800, yeah, 2,800.
No, 2,820.
Yeah.
2,820.
So it still would be behind 65 miles of curve.
No, you're using the wrong formula there.
I'm on a curve calculator.
Can you show the curve calculator, please?
Or just if you could send me the link to the page you're on, JM, I can display that for you.
Get it?
Yeah. No, let me just get that up. Oh, where's my desktop capture? So this is what JM is showing.
Oh god, I barely can see it. Wait a second until it streams to YouTube.
Target hidden height, 2,900 and 29,373 feet of curve.
Wait. Hi, imperial. Yeah, because you are an imperial and not in metric. You're given the height in feet, not in meters.
Yeah, I gave it in feet. Because that's what
But
I
it's
worked
wrong
with there,
in-
genius.
No, oh.
But it's wrong in feet. The height is 2,820 meters.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Do you know how
All
many
right.
feet that is?
Multiply by, just switch to metric and then type in everything again.
Yeah, that's like less than a third of what it should be there, Jem. So.
Okay, let me just translate. Wait. Let me just translate the 2820 meters to
This
feet.
says 5,010 meters.
No. Okay. Go back to imperial. Let's do this in imperial. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Or that way. Whatever. Problem is, I literally cannot read your foot in vMix because the resolution is too bad.
Let me just up it to you a sec.
You said 2,820 feet was the height of the camera, correct?
No, 2,820 meters.
Oh, okay.
2.8 kilometers.
So tell me what to type, Geo.
Okay, so you are in imperial right now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the height in imperial 2,820 meters would be 9,251 feet. I think you already got that.
Yeah. Target distance
And
in miles.
Distance would be 443 kilometers in miles. That is 275.27.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Closer to 276, but whatever. Okay, can then hit
All
calculate.
right, 16,474 feet.
16,700 and what?
100. It should be
16,530 feet. And
Right.
16,530 feet. In meters, that is 5,000. Pretty much, 5,038. Okay, does this calculator include refraction?
no.
That's the problem.
Wait, no, that's a refraction in this case relevant.
Can you repeat that, please? You roboted out
distance
again.
drop. The distance drop from the target makes refraction irrelevant.
Could
No,
you
it
please
doesn't.
explain that? Could you please explain why you think that's the case, JM?
Because we're talking about 16,000 feet. No refraction in the world is going to compensate for that.
Are you aware of how small the angle that we're talking about that the refraction needs to do actually is?
Really?
Yeah,
Yes,
so,
really. I'm asking you how much of an angle would the light would have to be bent in order to actually make that mountain visible.
You've got that on your screen, don't you, Geo? I've put that up.
What you can see from me, that's currently...
I can figure that. Hold on. Let me put this in perspective because I don't think someone's being honest about this.
Well, if you could look at the screen now, JM, there's a calculator that includes refraction and actually shows you the degrees of refraction needed.
Actually,
And might
let's
I
take a
add,
look
that
at the
was under
refraction
typical
calculator.
refraction.
Yeah.
in the notes it says refraction was optimal for that day. So that means it's going to
basically
be even more refractive index.
Basically, it's using
You're still talking about
this.
You're still talking about it
this
should have been
formula.
behind 3 miles of curvature.
No. The ground at that position would be at 3 miles of curvature, but the tip of the mountain is obviously not at sea level, because it's the tip of the
It
mountain.
doesn't matter. You just calculated from the eye level of the observer.
Yeah, but Geo's point there is that the tip of the mountain wouldn't be that far below, because obviously it's above the ground. And in the photo, you can see the tip of the mountain.
The whole purpose of putting this whole mathematical equation at the height of the observer is because this calculates even at the height of the observer. So the tip of the mountain would still be under 3 miles of curvature.
No, it wouldn't. That's
What?
the point. That's what you're not understanding. Look, do you see my screen?
I'll put it back to your screen. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So over here's that's the geometry of the entire situation, right? Here's the observer with the camera. Here's the sea level of the below the observer. So this mountain is here. Caution, not to scale. Okay. This red line here represents the amount of basically altitude that is hidden at a given distance. So basically here would be the position of the sea level below the mountain, and the mountain that we're looking at is standing here, which means that the tip of the mountain would be somewhere here. And if the mountain is higher than the hidden value, then you can see the mountain.
You are right, JM, that the ground would be that far away, but we're not talking about the ground in this image. We're talking about the tips
Craig,
of the mountain that can be seen.
I get it, but the reason that you according to you guys, this adjusts for the curve and this adjusts for the height of the observer. At that point, this mountain should not be observable.
But the tip of it should be.
Or what?
The tip of it should be, because it's higher than the amount that should be hidden. So let me break that down for you. So say I had something that was 1,000 meters tall, right? And the calculator told me that there should be 940 meters hidden. There would still be 60 meters visible, right?
Right.
And that's what we're displaying here. Like GeoStreber pointed out, the green bit is the tip of the mountain, whereas the red bit is what's hidden. So that means that this photo, under perfect refraction that it is, I think it was a 1.5 degrees it needed to bend the light. And
I think even less.
Yeah, well, even less then, meaning that the tip of the mountain, according to the globe math, still should be visible.
Okay, but we don't know. Well, my argument would be I don't know how much of this mountain would be the tip versus are we looking at the base of the mountain itself?
We're obviously not looking at the base of the mountain. You can actually determine this.
Please. It sounds stupid, dude. You can't say you're obviously not looking at the base of the mountain. There's hardly an image here to look at.
Yeah, that's the point. You cannot see the entire flank of the mountain.
That's right. I agree with you. Therefore, you cannot surmise that it's just the tip of the mountain. That's my point.
Can you see all the way into the valley below it or to its base?
You're making the same argument with the boat, dude. Really?
That is a question. That is not an argument. That is a question. Can you see Do you think you can see the base of that mountain?
Do I think I can see the base of that mountain? No, I don't think I can see the base of the mountain.
Okay, can you see the tip of the mountain?
Obvious. Well, I see the tip of something, yeah.
Okay, do you think that that's the mountain in question? This Picca spot.
Yes, what's your point?
Okay.
Jem, if the Earth is flat, should you not be able to see all of the mountain definitely all the time from that distance?
No. No.
Why?
Because of refraction and atmospheric lensing.
Okay,
Right.
so
And compression.
you can accept refraction as a argument, but we cannot use it.
No. I can accept it. I don't think you guys understand how to calculate for it.
We just use the calculator that does it for us.
I know. That's the problem is you're trusting the calculator. My point is
Okay,
that
can you show that the
refraction
calculator is wrong?
change- No. Yeah, well, technically, yes, it is wrong, and here's why. Because refraction changes based on temperature and atmospheric distortion. Therefore, you can't have a calculator that never changes according to temperature and weather.
That's why let me
Bam!
just quote the That's why let me just quote the calculator here. Note, not accurate for observations over over water very close to the horizon unless temperature and vertical temperature gradients are accurate. And I think it said before, the default values of the refraction approximation produce an effective radius of 76 times the radius of the planet. The default pressure is 1 atmosphere, and the default vertical temperature gradient is the dry adiabatic lapse rate. Standard refraction is an approximation of the refraction expected under average standard atmospheric conditions. Actual atmospheric conditions can vary greatly, and the resultant refraction can be complex, especially close to the horizon. See here for the source of this approximation. See here for historical usage of this approximation. For a more detailed simulation of the effects of refraction, see the Metabunk refraction simulator. Let's actually go to that. So the calculator itself tells you we are making the assumption here that the atmosphere is under a certain well-defined currently has certain well-defined properties during the time of the observation. If those are not correct, then the result of the calculator will not be identical to what you actually see in the picture. Is he still here?
Any rebuttal to that, JM? Joshua, are you still there?
Gone?
I don't see that
Black
he's
screen.
disconnected. Joshua, are you still there?
Holy shit.
I think we may have lost JM. JM, have you maybe muted yourself? No, he's gone. No, he's coming back. I think there may have been an internet issue there. I'm not sure. Are you there, JM?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, sorry, we lost you for a second there.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah,
How much of my argument did you actually hear before you...
I heard it all.
with this?
Yep.
Okay, let me repeat it. Basically, let me just read the entire thing again.
No. Read the entire thing.
I think he heard it, Gil. Do you have a rebuttal to that, JM?
Yeah, my rebuttal is the what you just read debunked yourself.
Could you please explain
In what way?
Well, a calculator is based on given facts, like it said. Okay, you can't make an appropriate prediction or a correct, accurate prediction without the atmospheric conditions. You're using a calculator that admits it can't make those predictions. Therefore, the calculator is null and void.
That's not completely correct. Because first of all, those standard atmospheric conditions, those can vary in both directions. This means that the value that you're actually getting out of the calculator can be wrong in both directions, meaning that there's either less of it hidden or more of it hidden. The fact that we actually get a result that predicts that we can barely see the tip means that under very good conditions, we should actually see more of it.
Right. No. Well, okay. But here's my argument to that. What you're calling the very tip, you can't prove is the very tip, and there's more that we're looking at more of the mountain, not less of the mountain.
Yeah, that just means that the predictions are that the atmospheric conditions are. You wouldn't be making the same argument if you weren't able to see that tip at all.
Well, no. If I see the tip at all, there would be no argument. I'd still be a global earther.
So, JM, do you agree that refraction can change the apparent distance of things?
Absolutely it does. Yeah.
And do you agree that in that photo that we've presented, you can at least see the tip of the mountain? All right, it's very unclear. We can't see exactly how much, but we know we can see the tip of the mountain, right?
We can see percentage of the mountain, yes.
Right. And do you agree that refraction can bend light at between 0 and 1%?
Well, when you say bend light, what exactly are you talking about?
With the effects of refraction, it can change the angle of
yeah.
light. So,
As long as we're sticking with refraction, yes.
so that means that actually matches the globe model along with the possible refractive index that there could be.
No. The reason I'm saying no, Craig, is because, again, I can't, without being on site and going to the mountain and seeing how much of that mountain is actually being seen. Because let's assume that 1,000 feet of that mountain is only 1,000 feet of that mountain is what's being covered. That what we're looking at is not the tip, but 3/4 of the mountain. Would that change your mind?
If that was shown, that was the amount that we could see, and it was something that we could see all of the time, then yes. But that doesn't change.
But all of the time you can't.
The
you
presupposition
can't say all the
of,
time because the temperature changes.
Exactly. But as we have just come to an agreement, we know that the angle of light can be changed between 0 and 1%, which would make the tip of that mountain visible according to the globe math. And I'm not saying that image is impossible on the flat Earth, but it is actually possible on the globe Earth with between 0 and 1% refraction.
Craig, it's
Guys,
not
wait a
impossible.
second. Stop.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it.
For fuck's sake. Let's just use a little bit more of an advanced calculator here where you can actually set the refraction, okay?
I'll put you
So
up,
this is the one of Walter Bislin.
Okay, let's forget refraction calculator because this is actually going to go nowhere. We're not moving the conversation forward.
You wanted us to use one where we can set refraction to any value that we want, and we're now doing that.
Right, but my point is the refraction calculator is a computer program. It's not going to change either of our minds today. Let's talk about something that's more value.
You could actually do the same calculation with a calculator if you wanted to, if you really wanted to, because I can't recommend it. Or you could actually build the model and test it. Yeah, what else would you be using?
I haven't been using math.
You need to actually...
And I've been calculating... What?
You need to be able to quantify predictions. You need to be able to quantify, for example, how much of those wind turbines you're gonna see. You're gonna have to quantify how much of that boat you're gonna have to see for your model to be correct. You need mathematics to make your predictions more precise and to make your measurements more precise. If you're not using mathematics, then in science you're basically fucked.
Math is important, I'll give you that, but I don't agree with it for completely different reasons. Craig and I used to go around all the time about math. I am not a proponent of mathematics. Math is a tool we use, yes, to things. Unfortunately, when I was a globe earther, I used to use math to try to prove things. Math is not a tool to prove. It's a tool to try to predict, but just because...
Yes, and that's what I'm doing here.
I could also use math to show you something that doesn't exist. That's in fact what CGI is.
Wait a second, stop. You said we can use maths to predict things, right? You just said that like
you can use it to help you predict things, yes. But math in and of itself is not a scientific proof.
Wait a second. You can maths to predict things, yes or no?
No, you can use math to help you predict things.
Okay, that's fair. Then can we use this model, this calculator here, which uses math? No, wait, stop.
Jane, let him finish your point, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, if we can use math as a tool to predict things, why can I not use this calculator?
I didn't say you couldn't use the calculator. Use the calculator.
Okay, then let's go through this. Again, observer height was 2, 8, 20, wasn't it?
Yeah.
My point
Target
is,
distance? Target distance was 443 kilometers.
Geo, we've
Yeah.
been through this. What is your point? What's the fucking point?
I think Geo's point is that it doesn't. It actually matches with the maths that we have for the globe, and it doesn't prove a flat Earth.
But you can't go out and observe and prove a globe. All you do is use math that validates your opinion and say, well, it works out, so that means it's a globe. That's not science.
I mean, I would disagree. This isn't my discussion.
Of course you would. But you're a mathematician.
This is weird. Wait a second. Oh yeah, there we go. Server. There we go. There's 10 too much in there. Oopsie. Okay, much better.
So I have a
let's
question
zoom out
for
a
you,
bit.
Geo. We live on a globe, yes?
Yes.
How all clouds are flat?
What?
How come the bottoms of all clouds are flat?
The bottoms of the clouds are flat because basically that's the altitude that you need to for the air pressure to be that low that the water vapor starts condensating.
But a flat cloud on a ball.
Again, what exactly do you mean by flat?
Okay, if
Because-
I'm looking out in all directions, I should see a curve visually as I look out over the horizon.
Which
The
is what you
the
do. You actually
clouds-
see the underside.
Let me let me finish.
Yeah, sorry.
Clouds also then should curve according to the curve of the Earth. They don't.
Yes. No, they do. You can actually see the underside of the clouds. And you can actually
They don't-
see the underside of the... Hey! You
Are
can
not
actually see the
understanding
underside of
a
the...
curve. You should see a curve across the horizon.
You mean from side to side? From
Correct.
left to right?
Correct.
Do you know how small that angle actually is?
Wait.
Do you know how small the angle is?
What angle?
The angle that you would expect for that side-to-side curvature.
What you said doesn't make sense.
You said it should be curved when looking at the clouds.
You said it should be
I'm
curved.
asking you.
I'm simply making the
No,
argument.
no, wait, stop. Let me clarify. Let me clarify. You said that if it was a globe, it should be curved, correct?
Correct.
Okay, do you know how much it should be curved from side to side?
I would assume as the forward distance.
I need a
Because
value in
it's a
degrees.
ball. No,
I need
I
a
don't
value
have
in
the
degrees
degrees.
there.
No. What's the value in degrees?
I don't know. I can just tell you that it's
You
fucking
asked me a
small.
question to make. Wait, are you kidding me right now? You just question. Team's over there snickering like a little child. I don't know the answer, but you don't know it either.
Yeah, let me tell you something here. You said that on a globe we would expect it to be curved, but then you gave me no value to actually quantify that. So
Most
to
curve
me it looks
calculators
like
operate on 8 inches times mile squared. So I would assume that at 8 inches times mile squared and 100 miles, I should have 1.5 miles of curve. 180
yeah, again,
degree
that's
view,
not an angle.
I should see quite a bit of curve in the clouds.
Again, what exactly do you mean? Because are you talking side to side? Are you talking of seeing the underside of clouds directly in front of you? What exactly do you mean?
You not under in this beautiful CGI image that Craig has on his screen.
Yes.
There are clouds that
Yes.
that hug the surface of this planet.
Yes.
Okay? And let's say England. I should be able to look up from one side to the other 180 degrees, and I should see quite the amount of curvature in the sky based on the undersides. Do you or do you not understand what I just said?
So you are talking about the undersides of the clouds.
Isn't that what I just said?
Yeah, I just want to clarify. You're talking about the undersides, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah, because you keep the top side.
How much approximately is the horizon away when you're standing on the beach at like 5 meters of sea level?
I don't know. I think it vary on eyesight, but get your point.
Yeah, let me just estimate it. It will be like 20, 30 kilometers, something like that, maybe 40, 50. So the angle of which the clouds are actually angling away from you, that being the angle of which you actually see the underside, that would be 30 divided by, 360 degrees multiplied by 30 divided by 40,000. So let me do that. So 360, oops, it was the wrong button. 360 multiplied by, let's give you the benefit of the doubt, say 50 kilometers, divided by 40,000. There we go. The angle that the clouds would bend away from you is 0.45 degrees over that distance. Do you think you would be able to see 0.45 degrees with your naked eyes?
Yes, I do.
0.45 degrees, seriously.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, no.
So JM, say that there was a pencil on the other side of your room, right, standing on its end. You could tell if that was half a degree off of completely vertical.
I don't know.
I can tell you couldn't.
Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But what's the point? The point is, well, it doesn't matter what the point is because you think you can only see so far. You have multiple different arguments, things you want to agree to. For example, how far the human eye can see? What's the max you think the human eye can see in miles?
Pretty much indefinitely, by the fact that we can see stars.
Ah, that good call. That's where I was going there. But you just gave me an argument saying you can only see 3 or 4 miles.
No. One is the distance to the horizon is not caused by the limitation of the human eye. It's caused by geometry. That's where the horizon is.
Actually,
of
it's
the
not
geometry of
caused
the
by
planet.
It's caused by refraction.
No.
It's caused by
Definitely not.
geometry because you think you're looking over the curve.
Okay, how far do you think you can look with your eyes?
Max, probably, I don't know, 50, 60 miles, 100 miles.
Okay, how far away is the moon?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
How far away is the moon? What do you think?
What do I don't think it's 69,000 miles or 100, however, 200,000 miles, whatever it is. Whatever this.
That's
NASA
not what I
says
asked
it
you.
is.
I asked you what you not. I asked you not what you did not think. I asked you what you think. How far do you think is the moon?
I think it's a ball of plasma, and that the distance to the observer is based on reflection and refraction of other things. I don't think the moon actually is a physical object in our sky.
doesn't matter. Where do you think the light source is?
I think it's on the other side of the dome.
Okay, is that further away than 60 miles?
Yes, but that is irrelevant to what we observe. You can't
You
observe
just
the
said
real
before
moon.
that you can only watch. You just said before that you can only observe things at a distance of 60 miles, didn't you?
I did.
Okay, then why can you see the moon then?
Because what you're looking at is not a physical object. It is a vision based on a reflection through another medium, creating a plasmic image in your vision. So the moon is not going to look the same as it does to you, or at the same distance based on atmospherics. But the moon is not a physical object that astronauts ever walked on. Put it that way.
Where do the photons come from?
Where do what?
The photons. The photon.
What photon?
The photon that's ending up in your eyes, that's coming from the moon. Where's
They come
that
from the
photon
plasma.
actually coming from?
They come from the plasma image of the moon that we see in the sky.
The
You understand what plasma
image.
is, right?
Yeah, plasma is ionized gas.
Right. And what are the upper atmosphere?
What? Can you repeat that?
What are the upper levels of our atmosphere?
Depends on how far up you're talking.
It's ionized gas. Quit
Yeah,
beating
and
around the
how far
bush.
is that away? How far is that away? More than 60
What
miles?
does it matter? It doesn't matter.
If it's more than 60 miles, then you're self-contradicting yourself again.
No, I'm not. I'm making a guess at a distance, but I'm clear
You
that my
just
distance
you
guess
just said
may be wrong.
you just
the
said
point is
before
this.
that you can. Oh, for fuck's sake!
How
Did
how
you
high
not?
can a
Did you
plane-
not just?
How high can a plane fly? Do you know?
Depends on the
What's
plane.
the highest altitude a plane can fly at?
Theoretically, or what we've already achieved. There's a difference.
What we've achieved. Well, you can't do theoretically. What have we achieved?
35 kilometers, I think.
Which is how many miles?
20?
Okay. So I said 60 miles. So that's 3 times the distance that a plane can even fly at. So, yes, it's actually far greater than you think it is.
Your argument makes no sense whatsoever. Where's the connection? You said
connection
before
is
that you can
you're
only
trying-
see 60. Can you please not interrupt me? You said before that you can only see 60 miles difference. Then you asked me what's the matter with the upper levels of the atmosphere that are ionized. Are they farther away than 60 miles? If they are, you're contradicting yourself once again.
No, I don't think
How
they're,
can you not understand
that's just it. I don't think they're farther than 60 miles above the Earth. But I'm making a guess at the distance to which we can see. It is just a guess, so let's be very clear on that. It could be 100 miles. In fact, we just looked at an image that was 278 miles. So obviously, we can see further than 60 miles.
Okay, then why are you making the argument that the horizon is caused by our eye's ability to see distances only to a certain degree?
Yep. So could I just clarify what your argument is, Jim? Are you saying that there is a limit to the distance that we can perceive light coming from?
Based on temperature and atmospheric conditions. Yes.
Right, so it's not really to do with the eyes, you mean it's just to do with the conditions.
Correct.
So just to clarify, if there was, say, zero refraction, we could see forever. Do you agree with that?
Sure.
Right, okay, of course, I wanted to clarify that.
Yeah. But the argument then is, because globe earthers, you believe there's a vacuum of space outside of the atmosphere of Earth, when that's never
Yes, obviously.
proven clear. Except
That's
that
not never proven.
it has been
Actually,
disproven.
actually, kind of is. Are you familiar with stellar irradiation, basically? particles that are hitting our atmosphere?
Based on your model, yeah.
So, solar wind, for example, right? You're aware of that.
Yeah, I'm a big solar wind guy.
Okay, basically,
If the sun and moon are within our atmosphere under the dome, and our dome, however high it is, and the sun itself and the moon are plasma, actual burning anything, all of that goes to the wayside.
I don't understand your
'Cause
argument.
you can't have a ball of gas in a vacuum and expect it to live.
Actually, you can. It's called gravity.
No, prove it to me. Prove it to me in a scientific experiment, please. I would love to see positive pressure vacuum in the same location. I'd love to see that experiment back to the ball just for that.
Okay, do me a favor. Are you aware of the fact that air pressure actually decreases with altitude?
The air, of course, it does.
Okay, how is that possible?
Because the ionized gases up at the upper levels are lighter than the gases down here closer to the Earth.
Oh, by
Oxygen is
that logic, we
heavier.
would. By that logic,
By that
we would
logic,
all be
what?
by that logic, we would all be suffocating in a layer of carbon dioxide and argon.
I can breathe.
Our,
Right, guys,
our atmosphere is
we've
81%
got
argon.
we've got about 5 minutes left before we start shutting down. I know GeoStreber needs it's even later for him than it is for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think this is a good point to probably get any final thoughts out. So Josh, I'll give you the first. Just take a few minutes to just any final thoughts, any wrap ups that you wanted to make.
All right,
go
Gio,
ahead.
thank you, man. It's been good talking to you. Craig, thank you for having me on again.
No worries. Thank you for
Hopefully
coming.
we can get past this childishness. And please come visit me at jamtruth.com and watch my documentary, The Plain Truth, at theplaintruthmovie.com.
Yeah.
Oh, is that already out?
No, you and I need to talk about that,
No,
Jane,
no,
don't we?
it's in production.
When is it gonna come out, approximately?
Summer. It's on IMDb, and the website is JM theplaintruthmovie.com, and the film is The Plain Truth Behind What Curve. We're basically dismantling the docu-film behind the curve, because it wasn't actually a documentary. So.
All right. Yeah, if you could give me a call tomorrow, and we can talk about a few things that we've been talking about behind the scenes as well. Whenever you're free, buddy. Okay.
Oh yeah. Cool.
GeoStreber, would you like anything to say to finish this up?
Not really. First of all, thanks for having me on, you two.
You're more than
thanks
welcome.
for talking to me, JM Truth. It's been a pleasure, I guess.
Thank you.
But so far, I'm completely unsatisfied with anything you've brought up, because none of the arguments you made either made sense or held up to any type of logical scrutiny. And so far, everything that you've said is either a conspiracy theory, it's either demonstrably wrong, or it's not demonstrably right. So far, yeah, again, I think you have nothing there.
Okay, thank you very much, both of you, for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Team, you got any thoughts before I go into super chats?
I do, but I don't want to hurt JM Truth's feelings. So
Well, we're going to do an
I'll
after
save
show
those
on your
for
channel.
I don't know. You guys want to do an after show? Not you, JM. Does anybody else want to do an after show?
I
I
mean,
mean, you're
would be
welcome
in
to
for
come,
maybe
JM. But
15
I already
minutes
know
or
the.
so.
I already know your. I already know JM's answer, but I'm just assuming you don't. So I
Well,
don't care what.
team,
the answer is.
I would be in
Yes,
for like
Gio,
10,
great. That'd be
15
great,
minutes,
15 minutes.
but then afterwards I would have to head out.
okay.
Do you
Well,
always have to make childish comments like that?
Who? I?
no, right. Okay.
I simply said I wasn't inviting you because I know your answer.
Yeah, let's not
No,
get into an
why did you
argument.
get so
You
triggered
want
by
to
me?
hurt my feelings, dude. You don't give a shit of my feelings,
Yeah.
so it
Oh
doesn't
no,
matter.
no. Oh, I know, but this isn't my channel. So in this situation, I'm not trying to make you cry on camera I'd rather just save it for my after show when you're not going to be
You
there.
could never make me cry, Tim.
All right, let's not get into an argument, guys. Right, I'm going to read off the super chats. There's quite a few. Guys, I just want to say I've had over 1,000 people watching, and I am blown away. GeoStreber, you're welcome back anytime. You're going to draw that kind of crowd, man.
1,000, holy shit. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And I'm sorry that you had to suffer through this. I'm very, very sorry for you guys.
Okay, we'll start off with $5 Australian
However,
from
we will
John
not
Rapp.
pay for any screen damage because of screen punching. That's not going to get covered. So if you have suffered any hardware failure, not our fault.
Nope, sorry. John Rapp, $5 Australian dollars. I kick these off. JM Truth, I'm in your future by 15 hours. Why can't I ever see Polaris? I think JM gave his answer there to do with refraction and stuff. $199 from Robert Williams. Ask JM, Neil deGrasse, what NGT filter and why would you use it? Do you know what an NGD filter is, JM?
If you're talking about camera,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah. I'd have to go look it up. I don't,
All right, no worries. That's
off the top of my head, no.
Honest answer, appreciate that. $10 from Electrochemical. Level is perpendicular to the pole of gravity. Try thinking, listen to that. So level could be anywhere on sphere as long as the object is being level 90 degrees to the pole of gravity. That is towards the center. $7.99 Australian dollars from Stephen York. I'm a filmmaker. I agree with JM. The only film he's ever made is the film of Smegma. Oh, no, I'm not going to read the rest of that. That's quite harsh. Stephen York made me laugh. Thank you. £5 from Ash Scott. JM, when friends tell you things they think you should know, they tend to sugarcoat it. Let me translate. If you ain't a Poe, you're cataclysmically dim. £10 from Second Best Bob. Please keep up what you're doing, FTFE. I was on Globebusters last night. Over 800 in the chat there, including Holocaust deniers. I got timed out just for asking simple questions. Yeah, Globebusters likes to do that. €2 from Luke Firewalker. JM doesn't know photography at all. $10 from the banner of Homura Akemi. I can't compare, but I'm correct. Get the hell out of here with your intellectual dishonesty. £2 from Sarcastic Barman, answering a call on stream. It was from Nathan Thompson, so he was probably trying to find a bench or something. $2 Canadian from Cameron Walker. FTFE, thanks for making my Monday night. $199 from John Park. Where's his videos and pictures? As JM said, there wasn't any prep for this. They didn't have presentations or anything. But I know if James got any proof, he would happily send it to me. $2 Australian from Matthews. Come on, JM, it's not rocket surgery. $4.99 from Robert Williams.
Rocket surgery?
Yeah. I have a D750 24-120. Shall we test field of views? Yeah, absolutely. Different cameras have different field of views. $5 from Brad H. Takes edited photos off Google and then claims our photos are edited. $5 Canadian from Cameron Walker. Why don't we see the same effect with planes miles in the sky then? €2 from Luke Firewalker. Sometimes you can see the static noise in JM's head. $5 Australian from John Rapp. JM, if you've done your own experiments, how can you be so wrong about so much? Newest JM truthism. An experiment is the entire scientific method. £2 from David Fisher. What is JM's academic credentials? They are all on his website, jmtruth.com. I know Modified Sniper School is one of them. $2.99 from James Collins. Please tell JM it's rude to eat during the debate. To be fair to JM, he is diabetic, so he did need to eat. Just next time he'd keep it off a camera. That's been covered. That's fair enough. £2 from Ash Scott. How does your thesis compare to Riley's? Oh my God, Riley's thesis.
Yeah, that's a topic for another day, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a topic for many more days. $5 from Stephen Lackford. Haven't looked for a telescope in years. How many years? €5 from MS Jessa. Someone already suggested this in the comments and I agree. I think Jem's looking for excuses to quit so he doesn't have to admit he can't win. £1.99 from Keir Skilroy. Joe up GM. Quit pretending to be triggered. £2 from Carl Roberts. Dumb Fuck of the Year award goes to JM False. No, Riley's still winning Dumb Fuck of the Year. $5 from Andrew
That's not
Stoll.
true. Kyle's gonna win.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But second place is the winner this year. JM said there's hundreds of FE models, correct? JM, which one of those is correct? I don't think they actually have a full model.
That's not what I meant. What I meant was there's hundreds of FE models on YouTube.
Yeah, and you do get that my intro.
Models.
You do get my intro is kind of just poking fun at the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Right. $12 from Tim Pryor. Probably a dome made of glass. Pretty sure physics says something like that. That size would collapse under its own weight. I need another drink. €5 from Luke Firewalker. Globe model. One model which works. Flat Earth. Thousands of contradicting models. $1.99 from John Park. JM Truth's masters must be... Nope, not going to finish that sentence.
Hey, Craig.
Yes, mate.
I'm having a brain fart at the moment. What is law? Shut up. What is volcanic glass?
What is volcanic glass?
Yeah, volcanic glass. The obsidian. Thank you.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There's something called blue.
Yeah,
there's something called blue obsidian.
That blue rock that you're referring to was actually ancient cement, because cement is actually mostly oxygen.
No, there's actually something called blue obsidian.
Okay, so $2 from Earth is seriously flat. Ask D Globe Zombies to verify 2 speeds, orbital and rotating. 15 degrees per hour and rotating about 1 degree a day. $5 from Mr. Victory. JM can stuff his face on camera, but can't use a keyboard to look something up. Interesting. Interesting. Get the interesting t-shirt in my merch store, by the way, guys. $2 from Earth is seriously flat. Love is teaching Globe Zombies how to test the globe. Yep, we do it, and it always works out the globe. $2 from Earth is seriously flat. Beautiful dome firmament. Stars are under H2O. Geistview would thoroughly disagree. £2 from Seluxus. JM, you aren't much of a filmmaker yourself. I did enjoy his zombie movie, but maybe not for the reasons he thought. £5 from Annabelle
my documentary is on IMDb. I don't know what you're talking about.
You can completely understand why he's a failure at photography, YouTube video production and basic English. £2 from Salaxis. The 5 Ds of Flerfs: dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. $6.66 from Mark Bisler. $10 says the pictures pulled off NASA website that he did his forensic analysis on were the compressed JPEG versions. $2.99 from James Collins. Do as I say, not as I do. JM 2019. $2 from Cajun Crustacean. That's a globe killer. Spoiler, it isn't. $5 from Stephen Lackford. Fill in the blank, blank. Therefore the Earth must be flat and no other shape. €5 from Artemis. Ask JM Truth about his azimuthal equidistant prediction flat Earth map on his homepage. I thought he proved everything he has. Australia, just fucking Australia. $2 from Earth is seriously flat. Globe Zombies in complete denial of beautiful flat Earth. Thank you, I do appreciate you. Earth is seriously flat. €2 from Luke Filewalker. JM does not compute mountains. $2 Australian from Christopher Hogan. The maths winning it again. In it we trust. €5 from Gerard Sillig. FTFE. Geo is brilliant. Learn from him. And he pushed a stream over 1K. Absolutely. I wish I was just half as smart as GeoStreber is. Honestly. $10 New Zealand dollars from Kango24. Please ask JM to debunk Himawari 8. $5 from Craig Connors. JM is either totally insane or a troll. $2 from Cajun Crustacean. JM owes me a new oven mitt. Mine got destroyed. Yeah, sorry, not taking any responsibility for that. $5 from Brian Peake. Technically, Geo, he could only see half of that 45 degree. The center of vision to an extreme edge would be 2.25 degrees. Yep, so even less. $5 New Zealand dollars from Kango24. If JM thinks the image stream from Himawari 8 is computer generated, ask him to prove it. While I type this, he's denying the physicality of the moon. $5 Australian dollars from John Rapp. Over 1,000 in the chat. Here's how to stand out. JM, what about moon and Earth's atmosphere? So rockets do have something to push off. Flerf logic, probably. That's a whole other conversation. I'll just check there's no more come in. Oh, there's a few more. $2 from Earth is seriously flat. Flat Earth is winning. Great live globe exorcism. I don't know, you should probably check Google Trends for that. $15 from Metallica, Alabama. Just such an amazing name. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the NWS have to have Doppler radar every so many miles because of the curve of the Earth? If it was flat, then they wouldn't. Then wouldn't they just use a few radar sites instead of many? £4.99 from Stephen Huxtable. Give this to JM for a telescope. No, I'm keeping it. $3.30 from Bubblebuster. Air pressure doesn't decrease in enclosed systems. €5 from MS to Jessa. Thanks for all the Flerfs watching and helping FTFE reach 1,000 viewers. Yeah, I appreciate every one of you watching, Flat Earther or not. $10 from Curtis Reynolds. JM doesn't think the Earth is flat. He's a fraud and only in it to promote his video production. No, I genuinely think that JM believes the Earth is flat. $5 from Beeble for Life. If the vacuum of space doesn't exist, then why would we need a dome in the first place? That is a biblical question, I think.
That's what causes atmospheric pressure, genius.
Aye, but he was asking why would there need to be a dome if there was no vacuum outside of it, I think. And that's all these super chats. Guys, I've really enjoyed this conversation. We're going to shut down and go live on Teams channel quite soon for a bit of an after show, so join us there. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for all the super chats. It means the world to me that I have this much support from you guys. Thank you, JM, for coming on. I appreciate it. And thank you, GeoStreber. You're both welcome back anytime. But in the meantime, remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat. Fight the flat.